You're watching the Weiss channel. We are continuing with angles formed by chords, secants, and tangents, but we're going the opposite direction today. What? In other words, yesterday, when we looked for this angle here, we took 80 plus 160 and divided by 2, right? 80 plus 160 is 240, divided by 2 is 120, right? Well, this time, we're given the angle and one arc, and we have to find the other arc. So if here we divided by 2 to get this, would you agree that we're going to take 85 and multiply by 2? And then we just subtract the 80 to get 90. Okay? Same thing here. We're going to take 114 times 2 and subtract the 178 to get 50. Okay? Now, what about here? Remember, we did this before. We said, okay, 80 minus 50 divided by 2 makes that angle, right? So, what if I'm given that angle? I got to multiply by 2, right? So if I multiply by 2, then I'm going to say 138 minus the question mark equals the product, right? 94. If I subtract both sides by 138, I get negative 144, or negative x equals negative 144. X equals 44. In other words, I'm really subtracting. Just like these two, I'm multiplying the angle by 2 and subtracting. But that's when I'm looking for the smaller arc. Look what happens when I'm looking for the bigger arc. If I'm looking for the bigger arc, right, I take 35 times 2, which is 70, and then question mark minus 36 equals 70. So don't I add, right, to find the other arc, 106. Okay, so if I'm looking for the smaller arc, I'm going to multiply by 2 and subtract. If I'm looking for the bigger arc, I'm going to multiply by 2 and add. Okay. Over here, you're given no numbers, so you need to know that all the way around is 360. And if all the way around is 360, then halfway around you need to know is 180. Well, remember from yesterday, right? Half of 180, that's 190. I'm sorry, just 90. Half of 180 is 90. Over here, if all the way around is 360 and this piece is 108, don't I do 360 minus 108 to get 252? Okay, so 252 divided by 2 gives me the angle, 26. Okay. Same thing over here. All the way around is 360 minus 130, and I divide by 2 to get 115. That's the angle. Okay. Over here, and by the way, if I take 230 divided by 2 to get the angle, what do I do to get the arc if I'm given the angle? Don't I multiply by 2? Yes. 133 times 2 is 266. You've been watching the Weiss channel.